Maps I find unusual. Map of Europe, but it's made out of national animals. Well, this is absolutely adorable. Okay, so United Kingdom, we've got the lion. For England, we've got the Welsh dragon, the unicorn. Do any other countries in Europe have mythical national animals? Let's see if we can spot any. Oh, there's a cow! That must be Switzerland. So they don't have an official national animal, but the cow is what they most commonly associate with them. Okay, we got any other ones? Oh, we got a little hedgehog. Is that Monaco? You would not expect Monaco's national animal to be a hedgehog. It is. They have three. The rabbit and the wood mouse as well. That's such a cute selection. Any other interesting ones? Oh, we got a couple of dolphins, it looks like. We've got a big wolf, epic. We got some horses, a lot of wolf actually. And then, oh, look at this big old bear. Obviously, that is Russia. Map of the internet in 1969. So you might have seen this one before, but it is a classic. So interesting to think about. You know, that wasn't really that long ago at all. Countries with compulsory voting. Okay, I didn't realize any countries had compulsory voting. So it's big in South America, which is interesting. It is a frustrating one because so many people don't bother voting. The UK's latest general election, 59% of people voted, but that means 40% of people didn't. That's 4 in 10 people. That's a huge number. But yeah, is the solution compulsory voting? Probably not. Maybe we could just give people a lolly or something once they voted. Sweden, when they voted to change to euro currency, the no side won with only 55%, but all of the biggest populations voted yes. So even though green is so teeny tiny, because of the amount of people that live in these areas, it equated to 42%. Wow, that looks crazy. Male circumcision by country. Oh, I've just enhanced. What's with the pictures of the bananas? There's no... I don't need to see that. 80% in USA, way higher than I would have thought. 97% and 96% in Algeria and Libya. 58% in Australia. What is it, UK? 20%? 1 in 5 men circumcised? Nah. Global average, 38%. That's so much higher than I thought. Countries in the Western Sphere, according to Harvard School of International Relations. So this is showing us that the West isn't always the West, because Australia and New Zealand are definitely not West. Although, to be fair, I suppose you could go far enough over on the map and then, like, turn a little diagonal. Yeah, okay. I understand South Africa, but apparently places like South Korea and Japan are undergoing westernization, which is interesting. I wonder if people would agree with that. Pollution in India and Pakistan is positively insane right now. So these are satellite images, and whoa, that is crazy, because this is a ginormous region here. Like, this is all Himalayas, I'm pretty sure, but we can see just so much fog and smoke covering these areas of the country. So this is India, there's New Delhi, and then this is Pakistan over here. Wow, that's so bad. That's sad. The Sahara Desert 6,000 years ago. Okay, so this is the Sahara Desert now, but 6,000 years ago there were lakes. Enhance. That's crazy. I had no idea about this. I assumed that it would have been hot for the last, like, million years. Lake Chad. That's huge. Is there still a Lake Chad? There is still a Lake Chad, but it is teeny tiny compared to how big it used to be. And it is continuing to disappear. So you can see it used to be the size of basically the United Kingdom, whereas now it could be contained within Ireland. Whereas now it is, whoa, is it just this yellow bit now? What? Africa's religious divide. Okay, so we can see that it is very heavily Muslim in the north, and then Christian in all the south. Hindu pops up somewhere. Ah, Mauritius. Teeny tiny little Mauritius. Eritrea is also a hybrid between the two. Oh, it's kind of sweet looking with that yellow and pink blend together. There are 793 US counties without a McDonald's. What? I mean, I suppose these are very unpopulated regions, but you would think McDonald's would open a McDonald's in every county just so they could say they've got one in every county. Is California richer than your country? So California is obviously a single state in the US worth 4.1 trillion. That is crazy, which means that all of these red countries are poorer than California. The only country richer is Germany, 4.4 trillion, and even then it's not by very much. That's insane. UK there at 3.3 trillion, France 3 trillion, we've got 2 trillion for Russia. Wow, that is crazy. Ooh, this isn't really a map, but Sir Christopher Wren's unrealized proposal for City of London after the 1666 fire. So this is what he suggested they should rebuild it to look like, and this looks really cool. So I looked in the comments, apparently this didn't happen at all, and it was rebuilt quite similar, but just with not wood, because many rich and important people owned these specific areas, and they didn't want what land they had to be changed or have a big road put through it, which, you know, it does make sense. Wow, that is a cool looking map. Population density of Africa. It looks like fire. Editor Kai, can we get some, like, sizzling, crispy noises? Ooh, yeah, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. South Africa, not as populated as I thought, you know. Look at that. Fair enough. Okay. Does get kind of busy around Tanzania, Kenya, those kind of areas. Very populated up in areas like Nigeria and Niger, and then very quiet, understandably, throughout the Sahara. But look at Egypt, everything following the Nile there from like Cairo and Alexandria. Madagascar, also a lot more populated than you'd think, because, you know, kind of probably because of the animation. You just assume it's all jungle and animals, but I reckon it's really not like that these days. Yeah, this is from Madagascar. Probably a lot more of this now, but there are still some very cool, pretty regions. I'd love to see these trees in person. And look how beautiful that is as well. That looks amazing. North American territories that were once controlled by France. I had no idea France once had this amount of power. This was kind of 1700s. Wow, that is a huge region. Google Street View 2024 versus 2014. Wow, they've come a long way in 10 years. So you can see in 2014, most of Europe was covered, most of the USA was covered, but if we head up, look, so much more of South America. Basically all of Europe now. India completely covered. Was there any coverage? No, nothing in India 10 years ago, but they have since managed to show every single street in that country, basically. Wow, that's crazy. Look at that. Oh, we haven't done this in ages. Let's go to a random area on Google Street View. Okay, off we go. Ooh, hello. This really does look just classic Indian, doesn't it? Is it the panorama, or are these faces actually this close together? I need to move over a bit so I can see. Yeah, it was the panorama. This fella in particular got done so dirty. Look at that. So sad. And this guy. Oh, look at the nice, pretty colored fence. That's delightful. The 1860 US presidential election. All right, this is interesting to look at. So there was 4 different candidates that actually won a bunch of areas. I mean, as long as I've been alive, I can only remember it being between 2. Abraham Lincoln winning in the north. Understandable that he wasn't very popular in the south. Interesting to be able to see this data because it's obviously from so long ago now. Ooh, what a 5,000 kilometer radius around Paris actually looks like on a Mercator map. So this is really interesting to see, because obviously this is supposed to be a circled area centered around Paris, but because you can't show a globe on a flat map, you get this distortion instead. Oh, I'm gonna have a play around on true size. All right, we're grabbing China and we're doing a bit of this. You ready? Woohoo! Oh, it even pokes around on the other side as well. Look at that. Ah, map of Africa using ethnically drawn borders rather than those drawn by imperial powers. Well, that's very depressing to think about, isn't it? Look at this, so much diversity and culture that was human settlements and stations in Antarctica. Okay, interesting. So there's actually quite a few, generally spread around the coast, but there are a few people that have dipped in the middle. So China have a couple of stations, USA have got a big one, Japan, Belgium, Japan again, Russia, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Argentina. That makes sense. Obviously Argentina's closest. Ukraine, okay. UK have got a couple of stations. Interesting, isn't it? What are they all up to? City of Chicago with 1 line. Whoa, wait. So you're saying you've drawn all of this with 1 continuous line that just wiggles about? That is an enhance. Oh my god, yeah, you can see it continue. Look at that. So it goes from this block and connects at the bottom and then goes into the next one. Oh, what? This is kind of hurting my eyes to look at. This is crazy. Oh. National tourism organizations in Europe country logos. These are quite cool. I feel like England's is a bit boring. Yeah, I don't really like the look of that logo. Wales looks cool. Just got the Welsh dragon. That's epic. Ireland, yeah, that's not bad. Northern Ireland, a little overly complicated. Not very pretty. Visit Scotland, yes, fine. It's a bit boring. Let's have a look about explore France. Okay, very dull. Switzerland, and they've got the T in the flag. I feel like that sounded better in their head than it actually ended up looking. Visit Monaco. That's quite smart looking. I like that one. San Marino, okay. Bit corporate looking. Italy's is very simple, but I guess it kind of works. Oh, look at the Montenegros. That's kind of cool. Albania's is a bit hard to look at, but with the right background. Bulgaria, I liked what they were going for. I'm being very picky here, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of cool ones. Visit Ukraine, yeah. Belarus, that's just a font that is available on Microsoft Word. I used to always use this when I was like 12. 1 square mile of Iowa, 1848 to 2024. Okay, so this is what the area looked like in 1848. Not very much going on. I think we're going to see a big difference here. 1872. Okay, let's just go back. We've got a very small amount of development in terms of this cool house that's popped up on the map and another one down the bottom. 1902. Okay, right. Fair enough. A little bit more info. Oh, we have actual satellite photography. Still not really much going on. 1938. It's a lot of just fields, isn't it? We got some trees and stuff. We are going to see some big differences, right? 955. 961, there's a huge housing district that's popped up. 974, hang on, as the houses got a little bit more concentrated and a little bit more development here. We got some shops or big factories or something. 983, a lot more of the same. 1990, back to black and white. 2002, 2024. Whoa. So the houses have doubled over here, and then we've got what could be schools, shops. That is crazy to look at. Wow. It's kind of sad, isn't it, thinking about the land disappear, but people also need houses at the same time. It is interesting to look at. The blue countries use ISO 216 as their standard for paper size, which is most commonly known as A4. I've heard of A4. You've probably heard of A4 paper. The red countries use ANSI, commonly known as the US letter size. Ah, okay. So if you're watching in the USA, you might not know what A4 paper is. This is A4 paper right here. I've never thought about it before. So a few countries in North America and some South America don't use A4. Okay, interesting. What's this? Is this Philippines? They also use US letter size? China's normal GDP is larger than 30 Asian countries combined. Not just larger, but combined. That is crazy. 18.3 trillion. We saw earlier in the video that the UK was on like 3 trillion. That's insane, isn't it? Look at that. Combined. China's economy outweighs the rest of Asia's. I mean, it outweighs most of the world, right? Earth's gravity isn't smooth at the surface, but is stronger in some places than others. Wait, I don't understand this. So they're not saying this is what the Earth actually looks like. They're saying that in certain regions, the gravity feels stronger. So does that mean if I go over here in India, would I feel lighter when I'm walking around? I don't understand. Okay, so it's between 0.5 and 1% difference. So obviously you just wouldn't notice that. Ah, but you actually would weigh slightly less. Mass doesn't change, but weight does. Scale should be calibrated based on local gravity. Are my scales in the kitchen that Becky uses for bacon calibrated to our local UK gravity? Surely not. What is going on? I'm blown away by this one. Right, let's end on this slightly mind-blowing note. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe. I just want to get to 2 million subscribers. It's all I want. All right, thanks. I'll see you later.